is up, everybody? Today we bring you our first 2K27 rebuild and video, the Los Angeles Lakers, the snowy Lakers, because we got all white boys. And today, of course, you got Colin Sexton and Quentin Grimes, but still, starting lineup, there's some dogs on this team, but is it going to be enough to win a championship? Probably not. There's a lot of guard power. We still need some bigs to play, and we might be getting rid of big stars like Austin Reaves and like Walker Kessler to bring in the pieces we need. We are looking for a starting caliber small forward, and the Lakers are trying to get Jonathan Kuminga right now. So let's get to it. We want to go to our roster here. Jared Vanderbilt. Is he better as a small forward? No. We're going to try and find something for him, someone that can fill in, get us a few W's at the start of this season. And Jake LaRavia, both in the blender. Max Strus wouldn't be half bad. I don't think he's at Cleveland anymore as per the recent trade to bring in Peyton Watson. Davion Mitchell would be a nice guard at the 2 spot to play next to Luka Doncic and recover for him defensively. Tristan Da Silva, a great 3-and-D defender from the Magic. Alex Caruso, a bald-headed scallywag that is not going to be on our team. Okay. If we can, I would like to get rid of Colin Sexton. He brings scoring, but that's what the Lakers have already. We need a starting caliber small forward. Mitchell Robinson. I mean, preferably if we could pick up that trade. Okay, the Knicks are offering up Michael Bridges, who could be a nice defensive piece, who can get you a bucket. Isaiah Hartenstein at the big spot. We could put Mamouche Kalashvili at the small forward to bring in Isaiah Hartenstein to either play the power forward or the center while we bring in Walker Kessler from one of those positions. Andrew Nembhard, another admirable defender. Honestly, is that the play? We bring in another defender, we put him at shooting guard, we trade Austin Reaves, we try and get a big-time defensive-minded player. However, Michael Bridges might also be the play. I think we're rushing into this. Let's see how we do through the December 20th date, how we're looking here. I think we have a lot of shooting guard minutes. Let's see if we can trade up. Luke Garza at 27. Musa is actually a decent center. I wouldn't mind having him at the backup center position. Ben Shepherd. I was hoping for Reed Shepherd there. That would have been crazy. Jalen Williams, also a viable backup center. However, I do like Musa for his defense. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring him in, maybe, if we can just... Thank you. I know. Welcome to the team, Musa Diabate, who's going to play our backup center spot. I don't know why we have Jermaine O'Neal, but we definitely don't need him. Karis LeVert, Max Strus. Kind of similar trades at what we're looking at earlier. DeAndre Hunter from the Sacramento Kings could come in and play the small forward for us. Wouldn't be half bad. However, it's not exactly the guy we're looking for. Draymond Green. Let's keep on looking for a viable trade, but let's check out what we're looking right now. Okay, we definitely need a small forward. Our current starting power forward is Royce O'Neal. We definitely want to put Mamouche Kalashvili at that starting position, and get some minutes and hopefully some buckets there. We are definitely... They have changed this. Okay. Colin Sexton, Quentin Grimes, we have to give you guys up to try and find a small forward. Max Strus. Okay, Rui Hachimura back was actually a great piece, and I wouldn't mind this. We dropped some salary. Round 5 mil. Malik Monk, Michael Bridges again, but that $33 million contract is going to bind us up in the future, and plus John Morant from the Portland Trail Blazers, bring in another star. However, we don't need him. We have Luka Doncic. We're going to bring in Rui Hachimura. Ooh. Yeah. Rui Hachimura is going to play the small forward for us. And that should fill that spot nicely. Now, of course, we need a backup shooting guard. Hopefully we can find somebody a little better. Davion Mitchell coming off the bench would actually be legendary. I would like him a lot as a defensive piece. I think he could be just what we need. The Lakers have run themselves dry over the process of the last couple of seasons, trying to build around Luka Doncic. However, it's not working. They do bring in Cameron Carr, so maybe there's some hope there. Mitchell off the bench is a less of an upgrade. Okay. Alright, we're bringing in Royce off the bench at small forward. We got a lot of point guard minutes now with Davion. However, I really do like that. Backup power forward is going to be a need, but right now I don't see a way that we can find the piece for that. At least for the time being. Leonard Miller at 22 from the Bulls. Brook Lopez could play center minutes. Dylan Cartwell, Landry Shamet, Bataz Day, Matkovic, and a trade exception. Luke Cornett at 31. We're just trying to get some W's so we can push into the playoffs this season and try and have a chance at the finals. Gosh, this is tripping me out. Okay. Now we have a little bit even minutes. We still need that shooting guard eventually, but right now that's not going to be in the cards. Unless we change Ryan Dunn to play some shooting guard minutes. There we go. Now we're looking good, looking pretty solid. Let's see how we do. We take a loss to the Heat right off the bat featuring Giannis. And we are picking up a lot of losses early on. We need some Luka magic up in here, and we do for the next 4 games. Can we beat the Spurs? We do. We're starting to pick it up. The team's starting to get along a little bit better. We're holding on to a play-in spot. John Morant. 2K likes some John Morant now. That might have been the pickup we should have had earlier. We've beat the Spurs twice, so that's really good news as they are Western Conference top tier. I do feel like we're going to need to make a play here. Austin Reaves has dropped off his 3-point percentage, his points per game. Luka Doncic, obviously, a not. Walker Kessler really hasn't been that good either. However, he is stretching the floor, 38%. Musa coming in with 13 a game. I really like that pickup right now. Rui Hachimura is doing his thing. However, he's dropped off a cliff. Another 12 days, so we'll give it 2 weeks before we make any upcoming moves, and that'll probably be the last couple of moves we can make this season, and we've done almost all we can to help this team. Alright. It might be high time we trade Austin Reaves, because we need to bring in a star. Honestly, if we found somebody else for Walker Kessler, apparently this just doesn't work. Davion Mitchell, I mean, he's doing alright. He's dropped off as far as defense. Royce, okay. Austin Reaves and Royce Buzelis to bring in a young guy at 22 at the power forward position. Zach Edey, Nikhil Alexander-Walker. I'd much rather have Azard Thompson as just a straight defensive piece to come in at 23 years old. However, they're kind of getting... Okay, Amen Thompson from the Houston Rockets to come in defensively next to Luka Doncic just might be the guy. Right now, he's 10 a game, dropped off a cliff from the three-point line, but as a defensive force and on less of a contract, obviously, at some point, we're going to have to get rid... Alright, let's find something that can work here. Rui Hachimura and Walker Kessler. We're looking for a starting caliber center who's a little bit better than what we currently have. I would love Naz Reid, however, that's not exactly who we're looking for. Domantas Sabonis on 15 a game and Maxime Renaud to come off the bench for him if we keep Musa at the power forward spot. Carter Bryant, 21 years old. It's not the cards. Mamush Kalashvili. Everyone's kind of dropping off. I'm starting to become slightly concerned for the well-being of this team. Jarrett Allen. Good interior. Pretty solid. However, we'd be giving up a lot to get him. Okongwu to play small ball center. Or we could switch it up. Jaden Quaintance, Spurs, be a progressive young piece in the future. Alright, will they give me Jarrett Allen again? Okay. This trade sucks, but at least we get Jalen Tyson, who's had a good year last year. Really came in clutch for them. We're just trying to do something that works here, and Walker Kessler wasn't working. I don't know why your boy... Okay, Brandon Williams to play the shooting guard too. Alright, now we need small forward, and we need a starting caliber one stat. I like the Jarrett Allen piece. We don't have it. This Lakers squad is stretched thin, but I do believe we made the right plays so far. We could bring in Herb Jones as a defensive small forward, which will work out perfect. Luke Kennard wouldn't be bad either. I guess the Lakers let him go at some point. I thought he was still on the team. Okay, Herb Jones, defensive small forward, and we bring in Jalen Tyson off the bench, who was pretty great for the Cavs last year. And let's see what we're looking like right before the trade deadline. Alright, we pick up a win to start, but that was probably a given considering it's the Wizards. However, they have upgraded with Trae Young and Anthony Davis. Interestingly enough. Which I'm sure you all know. Okay, Luka Doncic. This season, maybe 29 a game, 42% from 3. That's great. Amen Thompson. We just need you to do your thing defensively, and he seems like he's picked it up. Jalen Tyson's getting the start. So was Mamu over Diabate. Obviously, we have some temporary solutions, but I do believe that the Jarrett Allen, Amen Thompson pickups are going to be lasting impact on this team. We just need to make it to the play-in this year and try and get a top pick for a young guy. I'm debating if I should have gone for that Buzelis trade. We stink. We are bad. Why are the Lakers so bad? In a loaded Western Conference, we're 29 and 27. We should be in that top 5 spot with this team we've built so far. I mean, I like the squad. It's just not very deep. We don't have a ton of depth. We're gonna move on and try and make it to the play-in this season and try and pick up some absolute dogs. So stick around. Musa, we want you back for sure. Oh, this is a new design. Tweet. That's just what we'll give you. Alright, we're picking up some W's now. We're moving our way up in the conference at the end of the season. Maybe that team chemistry rebuilding near the end of the season right now, but we're picking up W's that we need to pick up. Couldn't beat Steph Curry and the Warriors. Um, Moved up to that sixth spot. I'd really like home court advantage. However, I don't think we can get there considering the top five teams, and we've absolutely dropped. Let's try and hold on to our play-in spot. Victor Wembanyama MVP, Cam Boozer Rookie of the Year, Jalen Green, blah 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 blah. Do we got anybody? Executive of the Year. As we should. All NBA first team, Luka Doncic. Um, we do. Ooh, Azar made it. Jaren Jackson Jr. Minutes. What? Azar did. Azar made it, but his brother Amen did not. Right now, fighting against the Phoenix Suns. Which we should be able to beat. We beat multiple times in the season. Jalen Tyson, 80 game, 34%. He had a lot better year on the Cavs last year. Musa's really stepped it up for us, and I love that. Jarrett Allen's also stepped it up. 10 rebounds a game, 18 points. Luka Don doing his thing. 43% is absolutely insane. Now, Amen Thompson is not doing very good. Davion Mitchell's dropped some. So has Herb, who's supposed to be a 3 and D, but really is just a D. Wow, we take an L to the Phoenix Suns to start off. Didn't think I needed to worry about it. We do pick up a W against the Dallas Mavericks, however, who are in a rebuild stage. That means we're up against the San Antonio Spurs to start off. However, if you look back at our season, we beat them multiple times. However, it was early on when we had some different pieces. Starting off, first game goes to the Spurs. Is there any adjustments that need to be made here? Brandon Williams with 19 a game. What a piece for us. Hopefully he'll go up in overall. And Game 2, however, we pick it back up. So far, 31 a game for your boy Luka Doncic. Let's see. Vicky nearly had a triple-double. Luka almost had a triple-double as well. Jarrett Allen is absolutely cooking. I love that we picked up that piece. However, Amen Thompson is not paying out. We go game 3. We have a chance to beat the number 1 team in the San Antonio Spurs. However, they come back game 4, going to them 2-2. Let's see, last game, De'Aaron Fox came in clutch. We need you to sell like last season, Fox. Please. Fifth game goes to them. We want to try and push it to game 7. However, we were eliminated. And it looks like the San Antonio... Oh, no, the Detroit Pistons with the upset against the San Antonio Spurs. We're going to need to make some trades. We're going to need to make some moves. Do we even own our 27 first-round pick? I don't think so. I don't think we do. Let's see. Do we? No, we don't own our pick. So this is about to suck. Alright, however, we are eligible for the trade finder. Amen Thompson, we're going to have to re-sign. Jarrett Allen was great for us. Don't want to move on from him. Herb Jones, I would like to trade. And Jalen Tyson also dropped off. Herb Jones for Miles Turner, Sam Hauser. Pick 19 in the 17th draft. However, I'm not giving up Cameron Carr. That's not happening at 30 round first round pick. DGAF would be a great backup center for us. This team is just stretched thin. Um, I really need to re-sign all of our guys. That way we have a little bit more flexibility as far as trades go. Alright, team player options. Sure. Alright, we do not have a lot of... Okay. Um, Eamon Thompson, 39 mil? 39 mil? Austin Reaves dropped off, so I'm kind of glad we didn't keep him. There's a lot of options here. However, I do think Eamon Thompson is going to be best for us. We could move him to the small forward and try and find, or move Davion Mitchell to the shooting guard. That could also work. I guess we'll just give him what he wants. Okay, I do like how this is structured. We can know kind of who has what, and then... Alright, who do we want to pick up next? Okay, so you move down. This is weird. Okay, the cum bucket I would like to have. 5 million is a bargain for this guy. We'll go 2 mil. He's pretty interested. Um, are we missing anybody? Jalen Duren, Isaiah Hartenstein, Walker Kessler. That's who we gave up. What is happening? Okay, they got way too techy with this. I'm not gonna hold you. This trade, this whatever the heck this is, they got way too techy with it. They got way too techy with it. All right. I would like a Peyton Watson on my team. All right, so there's a lot of people in free agency that we could go for. Um, who are we missing here? Mamush Feely. We're missing Mamu. We're missing Davion. Let's try and sign Davion back. He would actually... No, he's at the... What's happening? Okay. Alright, Davion, we're going to re-sign you. 4 mil, perfect. Um, I would love Anthony Black, but he seems pretty locked down. Ryan Rollins wouldn't be bad either. However, that's all the offers we have for today. Eamon Thompson's coming back. Jonathan Kuminga, the cum bucket we're bringing in. Uh, those guys. So that'll be a good starting caliber small forward piece, which is exactly what the Lakers are looking for right now. Um, Now we should have some cap room to play. Let's see just how much. Alright, so pretty much the minimum. Is there a affordable... I really liked the affordable tab. What? Okay, whatever, dude. Alright, a backup power forward would be a nice piece. Yaquez could be decent. The center spot, though, we might be able to find somebody like Derek Lively would be a nice piece. 28 mil, however, is something I'm not willing to do. Jalen Williams, Paul Reed, Marvin Bagley. Beef stew, Jackson Hayes. Bring him back to the Lakers. Ooh, this is a tough decision. Okay, we're gonna bring in Beef Stew for his defense. Um, we want a defensive shooting guard. Um, Klay Thompson, his defense has dropped off, but he can still shoot. I mean, not as good ever since his wrist injury, but still would be a nice pickup. Cason Wallace. So we do have enough to go for like a big time player. The Hornets. Who do we go for though? Yeah, I would love a Keontae George. Scoot Henderson would be pretty solid too. Is Ryan Rollins in here? What? Ryan Rollins, Scoot Henderson. Scoot Henderson is restricted. Okay. I like Ryan Rollins a little bit. So that's what we're bringing in at 7 million is a pretty solid offer. This is just what the Lakers are going to do. They're going to have to get lucky in this upcoming free agency for them to have any chance. Keldon Johnson, 6 man of the year, good defense, hustle player. That's expensive, but we'll try and bring him in. It looks like we're going to get all our guys so far. One more day until we get all those guys. Bryce Sensabaugh to come off the bench at small forward. Um, yes, I like it. Did we get a backup power forward? Yes, we got Beef Stew. Do we have a backup center, though? I don't think we do. So someone who could come in. Dean Wade as a defensive star, minimum. That would be good. Trying to hustle this along. Ben Mathern. Pots. We're going to bring in Pots. 14 mil? That's okay. Alright. We got a lot of players. Okay, no, we didn't. Alright, so that just screwed me over. It told me I had more than I did. Okay, Ryan Rollins to come off the bench at point. We bring in Davion Mitchell. Actually, Ryan Rollins at the shooting guard off the bench. Diabate is currently our starting power forward. Don't know how I feel about that. Herb Jones is definitely going to need to go. Um, we have 15 players. Adams. Oh, wait. We do have Dean Wade coming off the bench at power forward. Um, do we have the center minutes? No. We need a center. We need a backup. We need a starting caliber small forward is really what we need. But Nick Clax, Chris Sinek, Isaiah Jackson, Jalen Wells at the small forward and a first round pick is actually kind of crazy. I definitely want that for sure. Jalen Tyson did good, but it's not going to be as good as Jalen Wells, or at least I hope Jalen Wells is going to be, especially after he hits his progression this season. Yeah, 6 a game, 35%, and he's a good defender. So that's who we're going to bring in. That's a great trade. I like this view better. I don't. That was confusing. Um. Okay. So we said we got that starting caliber small forward in here, Jalen Wells, and hopefully we can trade up. Backup center is what we could use. Valanciunas, Andre Drummond, Jackson Hayes was really good with Luka, so we're gonna bet on him, bring him in. I would like Potts. So none of those guys are affordable. That's confusing. Okay. And then a couple of trade pieces wouldn't be the worst thing either. A Duncan Robinson on like a minimum, a Landry Shamet on like a minimum, um, Marcus Smart on like a minimum. Almost Chili back for a minimum. Like, these are the kind of guys, role players that can fill roster spots. We're going to move on to player progression. This is where what I'm excited for. Amen goes up. We need him to have a good year, or we're going to trade him and find someone else. Jalen Wells immediately goes up to an 81 after we just got him. Ryan Rollins goes up. So this is exactly what we wanted. And we have Cameron Carr, who can fill some minutes now. Um, Here's what I'm thinking. I think we have the people to put at shooting. So that's why we're going to put Amen at the small forward. He fits there better anyways. We have Jalen Wells coming off the bench. That way he's not... I don't know. Let's just give him a chance first. Let's see how that goes. Before we make any hasty decisions, this will be our last season and our last season opportunity to win a title. So let's get it. KD retiring. Let's look and see what our minutes are looking like. Cameron Carr is coming in and getting some minutes. This does make me want to trade. See, it just makes sense. We have all the shooting guards. We need the small forwards. We can trade Herb for a better backup center. Where's Herb? Herb. Herb. And alright, we can trade Herb. Norman Powell. Dyson Daniels. Spot. Dyson Daniels is good. Nas Reed is the ideal coming off the bench. However, we give up a first round pick, and I want to be ethical when I do this. Okay, Keegan Murray, pretty solid as well. Jalen Suggs to come off the bench. Oh, there's so many good offers. Mark Will. I would want. All right, we're just gonna have to last till the 19th, which is I think when we can trade free agents. All right, we pick up a W off the bat against the Sixers with the Brand. Which I think he's retired, possibly. Don't even know. All right, we're currently second, fluctuating between third in the conference, so we want to stay that way. That's exactly where we want to be. We know we're not going to beat the Spurs. That's the main team to beat is the Spurs and the Thunder, which I'm assuming the Spurs are leading. But, all right, we dropped to fourth, so not looking too good. All right, Luka Doncic, 27. His three-point percentage has dropped off since last season. Could be because he's getting more usage. I don't really know. All right, Amen, 14 a game, 1.2 steals, 4 6 rebounds. All right, so I do like how this roster is constructed. Ryan Rollins, shooting lights out, 42%. That's exactly what we want from him. Jared Allen doing his thing. Jalen Wells, 7 a game, 51% from 3. Uh, that's great. That's good. Because he's coming off the bench. We want Herb gone, and we want to try and find a backup center. Um, or a backup power forward better than what we currently have. Okay, Nas Reed, put him at the power forward spot. Absolute dog. Zubox would be a crazy backup piece to have. Or we could start him. Alright, so interesting. Alright, he's going to go with the power forward. We can trade Dean Wade for the center position we need. That gives us some good power forward minutes. Two good defenders who can also get it done on the offensive end. We can trade Mamush Kalashvili and Shamit. Pack here. It should give us a halfway decent offer somewhere in here. Terrence Shannon Jr. None of these are good. Okay. Clint Capella, not exact. Beef Stew, who we did want, could be the play. Pick him up for defense off the bench. Uh, Throwing in Mamush Kalashvili. Do they even want Pat Spencer? Kind of the same either way. It's probably going to have to be the play is Beef Stew. Bring him in. I mean, I would like Dean Wade to keep. So that's what we're going to go with. We're going to bring in Beef Stew. Hopefully we can get him some minutes here. And he does. I'm looking forward to seeing Naz Reid in action because he's can shoot and play defense, um, which is perfect exactly what we need. Alright, and I guess this is the squad that we're going with. Alright, start off with a loss. The team chemistry took a large hit there because we got rid of so many people. But we are holding up. Cameron Carr, 7 in game, 31%. Not that bad. Let's just keep sim. We're finally starting to get some W's as our team chemistry. They take chemistry into a lot more account this 2K, which is good and bad. For those of us who make a lot of trades, like me, not great, but it does make more sense. It balances out the game. We're picking up some good W's here. Um, However, we have lost. Win against the OKC Thunder, that's good. Some revenge games. What are we going to do here? Alright. We're picking up some W's. We're in third. We have a chance to win the finals. Stick around. See what happens this upcoming playoffs. This will be our last season. Interested to see how Amen Thompson performs in the playoffs. We don't need him to shoot. We just need him to play defense and dunk. A dunk and D character. He's our driving force. We want the clear out for Luka Doncic, but we do want someone in that dunker spot to dunk. So we're a 40. We have more wins last season, but we're floating in the same range. No, I'm They moved De'Aaron Fox to the sixth spot. Luka Doncic gets clutch player of the year, 36% from three. All right, compared to last year. Yeah, we'll take it. Luka Doncic makes first team. Second team, we don't have anybody. Third team, also don't have anybody. All defense. I want Amen in here. Where's he at? Nobody makes our all defense team, and obviously we don't have a rookie. So starting off with the Minnesota Timberwolves, who we did beat. They pick up Toby from the Spurs. The starting lineup should absolutely destroy them. We've got defensive characters in our front court, and then in our back court, we have two scorers. So this team should be really good and absolutely dominant in the playoffs once we get a Luka Don the ball. He is going to ask for more minutes. Amen Thompson at the end of the season, 11 a game, 4 assists, 1.2 steals, and nearly a block. We want him to do better. Defensively, I could care less about points. Naz Reid, 12 a game, 30%. That's That's fine. That's what you do. Ryan Rollins had 12, 38. Y'all are seeing the stats. Jalen Wells doing really good, actually. 41% from the three-point line is a really nice piece. Isaiah Stewart, Beef Stew, stretching the floor a little bit too with that three-point percentage. It just seems like our bench is lacking a little bit. However, we do pick up the first win against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Um, and that's with Anthony Edwards dropping 36, 8, and 6. And Luka Doncic goes toe to toe with them 35, 7, and 5. LaMelo cooking up. This is a good Timberwolves team. Game 2 goes to the T-Wolves. Game 3 goes to the T-Wolves. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. Nas Reed, Luka Doncic only had 15. What? What? Luka, what are we doing? Alright, we do get game 4. That's Luka Doncic coming in, scoring 32. We need him every night. 45 points for Ant. We need this game 5. This is a huge swing, and the T-Wolves get it. It's when Luka Doncic doesn't score upwards of 30 that we struggle. We struggle real hard. Um, Amen. 6 a game. Jeez. You're killing me. Jalen Wells, 7 a game, 25%. Everybody's dropped off a cliff these playoffs. We need to lock in. We do push it to Game 7. This is going to be a big one. This obviously determines if we are eliminated or not. Let's get it. First quarter, we need to take a lead early, establish our dominance. However, the T-Wolves up by 4 at the end of the first. Our bench comes in, though, in the second quarter and gets some buckets to tie it up. Third quarter, the Timberwolves take a huge lead. We need clutch Luka here, and it's not going to happen. Anthony Edwards nearly drops 50 points in that game. Absolute clutch, while Luka Doncic only came in for 16. A disappointing end to this Lakers rebuild. Does this mean that the Lakers won't have enough to progress to the playoffs and be good this upcoming season in real life? Even with all these trades I made, we still couldn't get a title W. That concerns me for the real Lakers. Thank you guys so much for watching, and look out for more 2K27 content.